with all that on cue. So this means we're ready to head straight over to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. All Chaos Emeralds glitched with the amazing, very amazing AlecK47. So, let's take it away.
Hello, everyone. Like you heard, I'm AlecK47. I am joined by Pro PokeNoob here just to kind of have someone for conversation.
Hello.
And I'm just setting up a couple things here. First off, I do have level select active. That is because if I soft lock or hard lock the game, which is a real possibility in a couple places, that means I will keep my emeralds upon resetting the console. And also I have to set up one more quick thing here. It's gotta give me a moment. What's that again? Is it not? Okay. Whatever. I'll just do... Sorry. My computer's being weird about something. There we go. Now I got it. Don't you just love last-second tech issues? I had some. That's why my audio is going through a headphone cable running from my TV to my PC instead of through my capture card. I don't know what's wrong. And why I'm using a bad headphone cable going from my computer to my headphones. Anyway, enough about that. I'm basically ready to get going, so I'm going to give a countdown real quick. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Sonic 2 is a classic speed game for a good reason. It introduces the spin dash, which makes you go fast, and I'm going to be doing that a lot in this run. Now, if I get this section good, which it looks like I am, then I will be able to get a 20-second time here, and that means I get to keep my speedrunner card, that is the Unity. Now, I am collecting all emeralds, and you're going to see a theme of basically collecting all the emeralds in Act 2s instead of Act 1s. That's because of the requirement of collecting 50 rings when you get to a checkpoint, and the bosses having checkpoints right before them. So I'm going to be picking up my first Chaos Emerald in this stage right here. Monkey jump, nice. So that saves a couple seconds right there. I'm going to have to slow down here so I don't lose my rings. It's okay. I didn't need to get that ring box. It was just kind of right. Now, I'm going to be going into the first stage here, and you'll notice that I am going slightly to the side here. That is because one of the quirks of these special stages, and one of basically the only ways you can save any time in them, other than, you know, not failing, is by having Tails collect some rings, and that allows you to get a quicker score countdown at the end. You are guaranteed to have a 100 frame score countdown because of the bonus for getting the Chaos Emerald. And if you are over 100 rings with Sonic, then it will be over by that number of frames. So it can add up, especially since some of the ring totals get pretty large. Now, it's not always feasible to do that in every special stage, but it's good to do when you can. So you can see I've got Tails at 44 rings here. That's good. I want to keep Sonic under 100 or at 100 at most, if possible, because that will mean I have an optimal special stage. I already have enough rings to pass, so basically I'm already in there. So this is the last section of things right there. And now I get the Chaos Emerald, and even though I went over on rings, because Tails got so many, I didn't lose any time. So I'm going to be doing this boss fight without any rings, and that's fine. Basically, yes, there's a chance I'll die, but I shouldn't, because I just do a jump there with certain timing and then roll into the boss, and he's... Ideally, I would have gotten 2 hits there, but before going to the roll, but I was playing it a little bit safe, so I jumped a little bit higher and a little higher than I technically needed to. You know, still a nice quick boss fight. You don't lose much time getting the Chaos Emerald stage at all. I got a 41. That is almost good enough for me to not reset in a Go Emerald this time. So, there's a little perspective there. Now, right there, I just kicked in the speed cap. When you're in the air and going above a certain speed and not rolling, you will have your speed capped to a certain value. Normally I avoid it, but it makes that jump that I just made right there very easy. So, get a nice, consistent 23. There's a faster strat, but it's difficult, and I'm not good at it, so for the sake of marathon safety, I'm not going to be that. But here is basically right about where the waiting until 30 seconds for a smaller time bonus and and just finishing at 23 seconds evens out. Right here, I'm hitting a path swapper, manipulating tails to open that gate for me so I can skip half the level. I'm gonna do a big jump here up to the top. But recently, we actually changed our main timing method from just pure in-game time to in-game time minus time bonuses. That is the most precise method, and time bonuses and continue. Nice 40 there, so good chemical plant. But we've never really used RTA when we can help it in these Genesis Sonic games because of score count. We want to go fast within the level. We want that skill instead of having so many times where you just wait for 30 seconds to elapse. So we used in-game time for a long time, and then there's a nice video on it actually. You can look up how pauses ruin Sonic 2 speedruns. But in order to kind of get the balance back in favor of having a fluid speedrun, we changed the time back to reflect that. Here, I would have lost about probably 2.5, 3 seconds going by pure RTA. So it would have been better for me to wait 5 seconds. But anyway, going into Aquatic Ruin 2, I'm going to be getting my next Chaos Emerald here, and I'm going to hope that I do not hit a platform coming up right here. I did, so that means I lost a couple rings. That means I'll have to do it back up there, but I got that nice 2-frame jump. Always love to see that, to keep your momentum. And now I'm going to be just shy here, but fortunately, there is a ring box up here that I can get, and that will get me to the I need. So once again, I'm going to be having Tails collect a lot of the rings in the stage, and basically, it's only going to be a big thing in one more stage, because while I can absolutely have Tails collect a lot of rings in more than just the first 2 and one more where I just need Tails to collect rings. I'll explain that when I get to there. Basically, I have... I need to make a sacrifice in order to not fail stages at some point. So in order to make things more marathon safe, especially the 3rd Emerald, obviously after this, I will be basically just ignoring Tails' ring count, because while it is very possible to get him through without getting hit, it is not exactly reliable. So it's fine now that Tails is ahead here. I don't need to jump really to dodge any of the bombs. It just means I need to move ahead a little bit. And that will actually help me get the ring count that I want here. After this one, it is left. Sometimes I forget. That's okay. Sonic has 95 rings. I have enough rings. Good. So now, for whatever reason, when the game loads back in here from getting an emerald, it takes longer for these pillars to go up, and one way or another, you're going to get a glitchy... Oh, jeez. Maybe not anymore. I went a little bit too far right there. The hitbox on his hammer is a bit far to the right side for whatever reason, and so you can pretty safely get through there. And you can see there he explodes into animals. The game is not loading from the correct sprite bank there. And so you get that weird looking thing. If I had got a frame perfect boss kill, he would have instead just kind of flown off the screen, and then the animals coming out of that capsule would have all been on fire. Why? Because when you do two things at the same time in a game, sometimes weird stuff happens. But here in Casino Night, I am just trying my best to get the whole way on top. It dropped my jump there because I pressed it while I was basically in the air between those boxes, and so I had to go the bottom route, and that's the only thing that went wrong there. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't even count as being in the air, depending on where exactly you are on the frame. But that's a thing that can happen. I should have done the little piano roll to get 3 jump inputs, and then I would have been fine. But no. It only cost about 3 seconds. Because fortunately, I also run Knuckles, and Knuckles takes the bottom route there at the end. Now, I'm going to be going the low route on purpose here. It is a little bit slower than the top route, but it has rings. So that allows me to collect the rings I need much more reliably to get the next emerald here. I'm going to be going for a nice little flip trick here. I am not going to get it, so I'm just going to hold back. But you can clip between those flippers. And as I get this emerald, now is as good a time as any to have a few words. So Rexy, if you want to say something, go for it.
Alright then, as a reminder though, we have some amazing donations ready for you to end up sending over to us. So if you type !donate right here in the chat, then it's all on you to end up making your contribution. We have some amazing incentives open right now, so make sure to get them met. We've also got a QR code displayed right now for you to scan with your phone for easy access to the donation link. As of right now, we have some fabulous targets to go through. We've got the Jazzpunk Flavor Nexus DLC, which will get added to the end of that run later on. And the Chipmunk Voices in My Friendly Neighborhood, both of these at $125 each to get met. And we've also got seed IDs for Pokemon Red happening later today with Pro Pokenoob, Team Bulbasaur, Team Charmander, Team Squirtle, and Team Eevee. I don't know the contents, you don't know the contents, but one of these would end up being the basis for the Pokemon Red Tetris randomizer run that is happening later on today. Alright then, remember, !donate in the chat!
Alright, so you can see that there's a lot of timing that has to be done here in order to keep Tails from getting hit. So I'm just going to get myself to actually 170 rings, basically, because that way I can just get hit here at the end, and I know I'm absolutely get it. at the amount I need. But yeah, it is absolutely possible to get quite a few rings on Tails in that one. It's hard to get him to like the point where you don't have any lost frames in the score countdown, but it's possible. And yeah, like I said, just for marathon safety, I'm not bothering it. Oh, that was a weird jump. That slope there, but oh, boss killed. Now, for whatever reason, you are able to pan the camera up, which in RTA and RTA minus time bonuses and continues is faster because it gets you to the score tally. Once the animal's off screen, that's when it starts. I'm going to be getting my first emerald in an Act 1 here in Hilltop. That's because, unlike most other Act 1s, there is a signpost right by the end of the level. And in order to do that and do this glitch that I'm about to do, I am going to be getting 2 invincibilities, and that makes this one of the longest emeralds to get, but at some point you just have to get them. So what I did there is I basically had that platform carry me while I was invincible underneath the lava, which only has solidity at the top. Jump over there to make sure I get rings. And then I was in the wall for a little bit. So when you're in the wall, you can press a direction and get zipped very fast by abusing the game's collision mechanics. And that lets you get a very large amount of speed in the opposite direction that you pressed. So I just kind of phased through part of the level. It saves about 10 seconds. And it cost less than that to get the invincibility. Unfortunately, I did not get the best outcome for this category, which would have put me right by the invincibility start, but that is a fairly uncommon outcome. Still worth trying for. And now this is where you see Tails probably get hit a whole bunch. Sometimes he makes it through, but not reliably. He'll get hit here at some point, I'm sure. If not, then good on him, I guess. There it is. Yep. But yeah, that section means that you pretty much can't count on Tails getting any there. Now I only need a few more. Unfortunately, there's still sections that Tails is not that great at getting through unscathed. So I'm basically just relying on Sonic to get all the rings. And honestly, that's about all I have to say about this special stage, so, Pokenerd, Rexy, if either of you have anything to say, any questions, feel free.
I've only played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and I learned that I am not a Sonic player, so I would just watch people who are way better at Sonic. That's why I'm here.
That is a very good video game.
I keep hearing that, and I want to believe you. And I just want to question when Sonic installed gravity pieces to his shoes and decides that space is magnetic. I'm just
Look,
you know.
That's technology. It's science, not magic.
We have a Hedgehog in Nikes, I think. Did we ever know the brand of a shoe?
It is undetermined, unless the movies had something to say about it, but I don't remember it if they did. I don't think they called attention to it.
I'm pretty sure that Knuckles' shoes are more like Nikes rather than Sonic's, but there we are.
Oh, that would be true. This would be more like... What would Sonic's brand be?
They do look kind of like Adidas.
I was just thinking Adidas, yeah.
Maybe Puma. But anyway, I got that shield for safety because there are a couple places where it's pretty easy to get hit. that one long fall I did onto the platform, not only can you miss the jump there, but you can phase through the platform depending on your speed and its location. Now in this one, I need Tails to get rings, so I am going to be using Tails, and the reason is because for this one, you can see that in several places there is just a split between where different sets of rings are. So the game expects you to have two players, and it's balanced accordingly. So in order to get the rings of especially the first section, I pretty much need to have Tails collect some rings. Now we have these nice little loop sections. If I play those well, then I'm in shape. Yeah, I did pretty well. The key here to controlling yourself is tapping the D, for anyone who wonders, instead of pressing and holding it. Yeah, this is one of the two trickiest emeralds just because of the high ring total needed and the fact that basically the beginning part, you need basically all the rings. Now, Tails has 50 rings here at the end. That is pretty good, actually. I managed to make it so he didn't get hit at all. That meant I was able to have fairly low total on Sonic. Now, at this point, I am hoping that Tails doesn't screw me over. I made it in there. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, doing that fight without rings, it is very possible for Tails to sneak in a hit, and then you just fall into the lava. There isn't anything you can do about it. That is one of the two riskiest points in the entire run as a result. The next one is going to be in Mystic Cave 2 after I get, ideally, the last emerald. Getting them a little bit earlier. That's partly out of marathon safety. Oops, I not jump late enough there. But I'm going to be getting emerald here, and normally, oops, I got a straight jump there. That is a frame-perfect release. I'm going to have to get some more rings here. Fortunately, I can. One frame later, and you get perfect spin dash speed. If that makes sense. Get these rings. I do actually have back here these rings as well. There aren't quite enough far side here. Now, I should have finished the stage by now, even getting the emerald, but whatever. Mistakes happen. And this isn't even a leaderboard legitimate run because I have that safety thing of having the level select. This is another one where Sonic basically has to get all the rings because there are sections that Tails really just can't do. At this point, it's one where he absolutely is going to get hit. There is no doubt. Because there's a nice little ring snake with bombs in the middle like that, and Tails never makes it through unscathed. He just gets owned. 96 is a really nice total of rings coming out of there. I am in good. It's basically at this point that Tails can start getting more rings, but again, he has a tendency to get hit. Timing some of the upcoming jumps that I'm going to need to do so that neither Sonic nor Tails gets hit is actually pretty tricky. He also usually gets hit in that section. Now there are going to be just a bunch of those rings and rings of bombs so that makes it again, tricky for Tails to get through this game. Only need 3 more rings, not 5, because Tails got hit. That's fine. Go. There are rings to go. That's what you want to see. Yeah, Tails just getting owned. This is the longest... Huh. That's interesting.
That's never happened before?
I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I've seen stuff like that before, once or twice. Okay. If I don't get it this time, yeah, okay. It would have been about the same speed to go over to the right, because I did not make that spin dash into the little gap on the first try. Also, I didn't mean to spin there. I was supposed to start pressing right just after that. Anyway, let's hope that's the worst stage in the run. Yeah, I'm going to be getting 1 more emerald here in Mystic Cave 2, and then fighting the boss without rings, and in that boss fight, I'm going to have to recognize which pattern I'm getting for the stalactites coming down and react to it for it to not die. So far, I have not died, and that is a good thing. But that is probably one of the 2 most... Oh, crap! I'm not getting it here. I'm fighting with rings. Okay. I thought I was going to get 1 more ring there. I did not. Oh well. That means that you'll get a touch less supersonic, but I'll just pick up the last emerald in Metropolis 1 like I normally do. That said, if I'm going to miss an emerald, that's the preferred way to do it. Yeah, I was trying to just catch that last ring before falling down, and I was just a bit too far right for... Now here, the oil functions weirdly, but you can go under the stage. So I'm going to be doing that. And once or twice here, I'm going to do an extra jump. Just because... Oh, there's a death. So, right there, I had a jump input drop. That's what caused me to die. And that happens in the world sometimes. That time I was able to get right under there because I didn't miss the next little platform for whatever reason, like I did this time. But a little extra jump there, so I can make it under there nicely. Basically it means we start a little bit higher. And now I'm going to try to skip a fan. Good. Yes. So that fan can stop you and cost you about 5 seconds. And at least I got that skip. So I'm under 40 seconds. That is a decent benchmark. On this next stage, I am going to be doing a glitch that is just faster. If I had Supersonic here, I might have done a little showcase of Supersonic that would be slower, but instead I'll be doing a level wrap, and I right now have interrupted some of the game's scripting so that I have a pseudo-supersonic glitch. It means my physics are different. Now I'm in the wall, and now I just press right and I'm at the end of the stage, underflowing the X coordinate. And I got a couple safety rings because it's very possible to die here. In fact, I know I am not going to be getting a 1 cycle here. That's unfortunate. Oh, especially since I didn't get 1 last hit there. It's also possible to hard lock the game on this boss by hitting the boss on the frame it despawns. Switches over to this thing. I need, I think, 2 more hits, so... Oh, only 1. I might have had a shot at it at the 1 cycle. Oh well. So it goes. Getting into Metropolis 1, this is normally where I get my last emerald, so I will be getting my last. And one of the key things here is, at the start, I want to keep Tails with me, because otherwise, if you've played this game, You're probably familiar with getting to this point and Tails just flying in the spot that you need to get through there. And platform not being there. It's annoying. But now I'm going to be collecting rings. And in a little bit, I will be taking advantage of a glitch. Come on. It's coming back now. Sometimes he makes it through there with you, sometimes he doesn't. But I'm going to be taking advantage of the fact that this level wraps vertically, tricking the camera into putting Sonic and some sprite objects off screen. I'm going to be getting that invincibility for safety, and because I'm going to be spin dashing past a spike there. Now, entering my last stage. What I did there was I removed the nut from being loaded in memory, and I ended up inside it in such a position that I wasn't getting crushed, and then just jumped and clipped through the floor because I couldn't go up. So, a nice little trick you can do there that saves a little bit of time. And I will give you a bit of a warning. At the end of this stage, I will call it out again, but there will be some pulsating colors, basically, and that only happens here with the last emerald, but if you're photosensitive, it would be a good time. Okay. Once again, I will call that out when it's coming, and let you know once it's safe again. As you can see, I almost have enough rings to get through this entire thing here. But you don't get many rings here, typically. I want to get Sonic to at least 210. I'm just going to grab some more for safety. Tails usually gets hit at some point there. Now I have enough that I can afford to get hit once. So I actually will. I'll just play it safe and stick here. But anyway, now would be the time to avert your eyes if you're photosensitive. It'll only be for a brief period. Yeah, flashing kind of strobe effect there. Yay, old video games. And now it is safe. And I have that weird artifacting in the score again. Weird. Yeah, now I can change into Supersonic. You're only going to see me do it once, or really twice, probably. Hopefully twice. Now, just finish this stage. No failed Emerald stages, so I'm definitely looking good on my estimate. But here, I'm going to be doing kind of a bit of what I did in Oil Ocean and a bit of what I did in Hilltop. So here I'm once again getting below the lava with the hitbox at the top, lining myself in a particular spot there, pressing and holding right, and then that gets me to zip past the stage boundary, and now I am at the end. And because I hit the signpost the moment it was loaded, it did not load from the right sprite bank. The game switch. So yeah, that's a goalpost right there. Kind of half spring, 3/4 spring. Now it's time for the hardest glitch in this run. There is a newer way to do it that is also tricky. Both involve manipulating Tails, so that's partly why they're kind of sketchy. Ooh. Okay. I ended up in between two frame windows that I had to release the D-pad there to get the level wrap, unfortunately. Okay, that time I had to press right one frame after I unpaused at the initial zip. too low. This can happen. This can absolutely happen. This is a difficult trick, which is why it's the one thing I pause for, basically. There we go. That didn't take too long. But even if you're really good at the trick, every now and then you just go on a cold streak. But that saves a good amount of time. Even getting it slowly, I'm going to be faster than the fastest way with no level wrap. Tails going the wrong way there is unfortunate, because I did want to get in the boss's grill and get a hit there. So that cost me an extra cycle. It happens. Tails is not entirely reliable. There we go, a 123, that's about the best time I could possibly expect without the level wrap, and it requires pretty much perfect play on a difficult stage, as well as a clip that you pretty much just kind of have to go for on. Now, while I'm collecting rings here in this auto-scroller, Rexy, take it away.
Yup, Sky Chase is indeed the best time for something to read out, I would like to see. Oh my gosh. Alright, so remember we are raising money here during Complete-a-thon 2024 for Girls Make Games. While women make up nearly half of the gaming population, less than 24% of game devs in the US are women. Girls Make Games was created to address this gender gap and create a space for girls to explore the world of video games. To date, nearly 25,000 girls in 160 cities in 22 countries have accessed game devs workshops, summer camps, and tutorials. GMG's published titles have been downloaded over 190,000 times on partnership platforms like PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, the Xbox Creators Program, Steam, and Google Play. By inspiring girls to engage with Steam throughout the fun and creativity of game design, we're creating a world where girls have a chance to discover their potential through gaming and game dev. Talking of girls, did you know that 3 of them had created stages for Sonic 2, including the First Lady of Sega RPG's Rieko Kodama?
I didn't know.
Well, there you are, bit of trivia.
That's cool. If that was mistimed the whole way through, that's because I'm getting a slight bit of audio delay that I normally don't get. I don't know if I'm getting it or not, really. It could be. Now, I am going to save myself a fraction of a second by turning into Supersonic here. As Knuckles, you can get a 205 for reasons unknown by spin dashing off the end stage, but Sonic has to do either a really stupid and very dangerous thing, or be supersonic in order to get a 205 in that. Now here, you're going to see Supersonic once more. It is about the same time, or like ever so slightly slower to do this stage as Supersonic, but I'm doing it for the fans, for the viewers, for you wonderful people watching out there now or later on the VOD. Because we got to get a little bit of supersonic action, right? Now, I have to make sure that I don't jump too high there, and that's also a place where you definitely see the fact that I'm running on the original version of the game biting me a little bit, because if I was on revision 2, I would be able to just go to the bottom there and do a spin dash across that whole gap. It would be really nice and fast, but I'm not on that version, so I'm not able to get slope glitch by being on a sprite object while it's deleted there. Nice quick boss fight because Supersonic jump high and not get hit. And now we're just waiting for the little cutscene here to go, while Tails takes us up to Death Egg, and we get a chance for a soft lock and the actual hardest boss in the game by a pretty decent margin. But it looks like I'm going to be getting time somewhere in the high 140s. I believe. Maybe close to 150 even. But that's pretty typical. Going with the glitched route instead of supersonic, I would expect to be about 4 or 5 seconds faster, basically. But I had a little bit of slop in this stage, so maybe a little bit less than that. Oh, I actually hit the back of his hitbox there. I was actually bouncing so low there that I was in danger of getting the soft lock anyway. But yeah, dying to Silver Sonic is easy to do. But, I got it! Frame perfect boss kill. That is the Silver Sonic soft lock. And now I still have my emeralds as I come in here and stage select my way back to Death Egg. I always like to get that in a marathon because it's just something funny to show off. The boss disappears and you either have to reset or time over. Those are the only ways out of that. Now this time I'm not going to get it. Being safe, getting my hits later. Now the final boss. There are hitboxes all over. They are shenanigans. And the momentum that you need to carry and manipulate in this fight... See, hitboxes, shenanigans. I got hit and got a hit on the same frame. I needed to be a little bit farther to the left in order to be safe there. But the momentum is also a little bit tricky in the section right that I was basically just entering when I died there. So the arms have hitboxes, the feet have hitboxes, and the jetpack has hitboxes too. Good. Oh! See, there, I needed more momentum going towards him. And I thought I had it, but I didn't. Basically, there's, like, you have to kind of read and react, like whether you're pressing the D-pad or tapping it a couple times or tapping once and then holding. It's just something that you have to learn, and it's a hard boss. It can kill runs for even the best runner. And does. Whoop. Oh! I knew I didn't have it, but I didn't hold back in time. That's unfortunate. Once more, with feeling. Usually I only die, like, at most once here, so this is unusual. That said, I got the soft lock, so I can't be entirely mad. Let's just focus here. There we go. 10. Nice and textbook this time. Get ready on time. It is at the fade out here. Time.
Woo! GG's!
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that soft lock near the beginning of Death Egg was just like completely unexpected, but there we are.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like in this game, when you get a kill on a boss, the exact frame it changes from one state to another. Various things can happen. In Aquatic Ruin 2, it's actually a good thing. The boss flies off the screen, the camera pans over immediately, and you can get to the capsule quicker. Also changes all the animal sprites to little bits of fire explosion. In Oil Ocean 2, it hard locks the game. There, it just deletes the boss, and you can't progress. So it does various things. There's another one where you can have basically take damage and get like multiple hits or something like that on the same frame in Metropolis 3, and that also hard locks the game. So yeah, fun things can happen. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Yeah, that's it for me, I guess. AlecK47, I'm trying to get back into streaming, but I'm having technical issues, so we'll see how quickly I can get those resolved before I really start streaming. But I'm going to be doing Sonic 2 stuff in the next month or so. There's a tournament coming up next month. Sign-ups are basically just ending, unfortunately, but yeah, that's going to be fun. So I'm getting back into this game after years of not really. It's kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying it again. That's a good sign. Yeah, signing off.
We're not deafened.
Thank you once again right there from AlecK47 for doing the All Emeralds glitched run on Sonic 2. What a fight we ended up facing a death egg. That was definitely so crazy, I would say so hyped right there. So hyped! Oh, I had to really watch out for everything going on in my head right there. It's just rolling around. And we're going to be seeing more of the blue blur running action courtesy of Sonic Colors DS later on in this block as well. So that is going to be so good. Alright then, so as a reminder, we got some amazing incentives that are going on right now. We have 3 ready up there. We got the Jazz Punk Flavor Nexus DLC targets, which is at $125 to be met for that one, as well as the My Friendly Neighborhood Chipmunk Voices to end up getting met as well, also at $125. So remember, Flavor Nexus DLC adds in an extra 10 minutes of the run. You want to see more marathon? Let's that get met. You also want to see people speak like this, don't you? Let's also get the Chipmunk Voices also set for these 2 runs later on today. We're also looking for the seed ID for Pokemon Red as well. Team Bulbasaur, Team Charmander, Team Squirtle, and Team Eevee. I do not know the contents of any of these, neither do you. You would all end up going in, !donate, choose your seed, and we will get that in for Pro Pokédoob later on today. Remember, you can lock onto a poll and the target at the same time, so it's all on you to end up deciding on that one. If you're just tuning in, you are watching Complete-A-Thon 2024. This is the charity event dedicated to completionist speedruns, including 100% all collectibles, or even categories where you collect all of a specific collectible, just to name a few. If you're interested in getting involved or finding out more, make sure to join our Discord and follow us on Twitter to get updates about future events. We're also looking for more volunteers with these future events as well. We'll always host volunteer applications beforehand. They typically run alongside submissions and are announced on our Discord and Twitter. Keep an eye on them if you're interested in running production, Twitter the tweets, or maybe even hosting live on the mic, just like me. even if you're just looking to volunteer for the first time, we'll be happy to help you get your foot right in the door. We've got some lovely hands. If you can see my hands, then they'll be nice and fluffy and warm. So this is what you'll be feeling when you end up getting into the zone right here as part of the complete-a-thon stroke No Glitches Allowed team. Remember, donations can be done by typing in !donate in the Twitch chat. So that is where you end up making a direct donation. I mentioned the incentives earlier. We've got the amazing coverage right there for Jazzpunk Flavored Nexus DLC and My Friendly Neighborhood Chipmunk Voices, as well as your seed ID for Pokemon Red. Remember, you can put a poll and a target together in the same donation. So that will be amazing to do. So let's let them get met. We've also got a QR code that is displayed during breaks, as well as runs without the camera, that can be scanned using your phones for easy access to that donation link.